Hey everyone, this is Earl posting another video to our macro helper channel. In this video we're going to go over some more advanced macro commands that take more input and more thought and are capable of doing more to help you make macros that help your character builds or accomplish whatever you'd like to accomplish in the button that you're creating. So the first one that I have here on our notepad is pet autocast on. Pet autocast on will toggle autocasting of one of your abilities, one of your pet abilities. So if I turn pet autocast growl off by right clicking it, the command pet autocast on for growl will activate it. If I do pet autocast on growl, now it's on. I can also do pet autocast off growl. So maybe if you're in a dungeon or something, you want to make sure that's turned off when you cast misdirect. You can bind that to the same button as misdirect, because you're only going to misdirect if you're in a group, right? And you're only going to misdirect when you don't want your pet to be growling. So you can put the growl on the same button so you don't have to manage that. Another thing is pet autocast toggle. Pet autocast toggle will make the button go into autocast or out of autocast, and it'll rotate between them. So you can see growl is now autocasting. If I do it again, it will not autocast. Okay. Target is another fun one. Target needs a command after that so it knows what to target. So some examples include player, which is yourself. Targeting the player is yourself. You can do target focus if you have a focus. So if I click over here and hit set focus and I don't have a target, I can do target focused. I can do target names. So I can do Bluff Watcher over here, right behind me. You can also do target party members. If I was in a party, I can do target party 1 or target raid 22, the 22nd person in the raid. Targets are also great conditionals, which will be another video. But for now, we're doing simple intermediate commands. Stopwatch is another great command, really useful tool. By itself, it will open the stopwatch or close the stopwatch. You can also do stopwatch play, which will start the stopwatch. Stopwatch reset. Stopwatch stop, so I can let it play a little bit and then make it stop with stopwatch stop. Might be stopwatch pause. Let's try that. There you go. Stopwatch play again. I can also set its time. Stopwatch 0 for the hours, 0 for the minutes, 6 for the seconds. I might have to stop it first. Stopwatch stop. Stopwatch 006. Stopwatch play. So now it's going to count down. If you give the stopwatch a time, it will count down instead of up, and you get a ding. So the ding could be super useful. My hunter is low level. I'm looking for the ability that interrupts. Might not have it. But the stopwatch could be a great tool for kick, for example. If I was a rogue, I could make a macro like this. I can do cast, kick, stopwatch 006, stopwatch play. Because when I kick the target and I interrupt a spell, I know that it cannot cast for 6 seconds, at least in that school. So I don't want a kidney shot. Why would I want a kidney shot right away? I already know it can't cast anything for 6 seconds, or anything important if I interrupted the right spell. So once I hear the ding, then that's when I would do a potential kidney shot. Or if you want to play it safe, you can make it 5 seconds. Maybe you're assuming that for some reason you couldn't get to the exact 6th second. So you give yourself a window of break time. Stopwatch is super useful. It could also be used for abilities that trigger, that say that they can only be used once every 2 minutes. So when they trigger, you can hit it. And then when you hear the beep, you know that you can do that again. Like a lot of legendaries will say you can get XYZ benefit, but you can't benefit more than once than every 30 seconds. So you can set your timer up, and the next time your benefit rolls around, you can do a burst with it. You can do big cooldowns with it and maximize your potential. The next one is target party. If you're in a party, you can cycle through that and it'll target your next party member, your next nearest party member, and cycle through party members. Same thing with target raid. Assist is another good one. Assist will target whatever your target is targeting. So if I set my pet to attack the dummy, and then I select my bird, I can assist my bird, and now I'm attacking or targeting the dummy. Okay. Whisper is another one that's intermediate because it needs inputs. You can't just do whisper. You have to put text after it. Whisper hat rec. Test whisper. While we're on the subject of chat commands, you can put a percentage in your chat accompanied by a letter to make your chat turn into whatever you're targeting. So I can do %T, and my chat will turn into whatever I'm targeting. Or I can do %F to make it my focus. So I can demonstrate this again by targeting my bird of prey and doing %T. Or I can do %F. So I can go back to my attack target macro, and I can say %attack, %T. And when I hit it,
strike at my enemy.
I'm saying attack training dummy, I'm putting a skull on it, I'm
Focus
hunter's
on this
marking
target.
it, I'm telling the pet to attack it all in
Here,
one button.
this target. Strike at my enemy.
And that's this macro right here.
Focus on this target. Strike at my enemy.
The macro doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm doing it. These are just examples, and they're meant to teach you how macros work so you can make the macro the way you want to make it. Another macro command is the use command. The use command also needs to know what it's wanting to use. So you can do use Hearthstone, or use potion, or use lock rocks, use health stones. And you can put the health stone, the use health stone line in any of your defensive cooldowns, because you might as well use a health stone if you're going to blow a defensive cooldown because you're taking damage. I typically do that on my characters because I forget that I have health stones. So now I don't have to forget, I know it's bound into my button. Something like that could look at like this, like my macro here, disengage. I can put use health stone in there. And if I have it, it will use it.
I need assistance.
If healthstone is 2 words, make sure to make it 2 words like so. I can't recall if it is right now. You can also use items in your bag by specifying where they are. So I can do use, and then your backpack is 0. The next bag is 1. So I'm going to use this bag 1. And then you do a space, and the next number is the slot in that bag. So if I do the first slot, I'll cast Hearthstone again. So use bag 1, slot 1, hit enter. Use bag 1, slot 2. I'll use the dollar on. Use, oops, it's actually not use bag, it's just use 1, 2. There you go. So now I'm doing dollar on Hearthstone. So maybe there's a slot that you've dedicated to potions, or maybe a slot that you've dedicated to an item. It'll even do items. So I can do use bag 1, and then for the bow, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The slot 5, going from left to right, top to bottom. So now I'm equipping the bow. And if I do the same thing, use 1, 5, it'll go back to the gun. So that could be a good way to swap between melee and ranged. If I do that again, use 1, 5. Now I've got my melee weapon. Now I've got my gun. Real easy. I can even do something like this. I can do Raptor Strike. Use 1, 5, cast Raptor Strike. If I don't have a melee weapon equipped, it's going to equip a melee weapon for me. Actually not. It's also going to try and... Okay, so something like this would be better. Instead of that, you can do equip, which is the next thing in our line here. Now sometimes you can do equip and then type the name of the item. Okay, so if I got my ranged weapon equipped, I'll hit this button, I'll equip my melee, and if I keep hitting it, it'll be Raptor Strike. But I wanted to show the button Raptor Strike, so I'll do Show Tooltip, Raptor Strike. Look at that. If I try again, I got my ranged weapon, I'll go up to it, click on Raptor Strike, and I start whacking it. Now you can make the equip macro to be equip slot instead, to specify where the item is supposed to be equipped to, because I've got two items here. So maybe I want it in my offhand, or maybe I want a trinket to go in a certain slot. So I can demonstrate this. We're going to use this instead. So we're going to remove this, and it's going to be blood-soaked Skullforge Weaver. There. So it should work as normal for now. Let's get rid of the equip slot. There we go. We must have a two-handed weapon. Okay, so it's not going to execute Raptor Strike for me, which is fine. But we can go back to the equip slot and demonstrate. Let's say we wanted it in our offhand. We didn't want it equipped into our main hand. Maybe I'm a warrior that's trying to dual wield, and I wanted to go in my weapon, my offhand, because by default it usually goes into the main hand. So each one of these slots here has a number corresponding to it, just like the bags do. The number starts with the helmet as 1, and then it goes 2, 3, and for some strange reason it skips the back, going 4, skipping the shirt, skipping the tabard, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the weapons are 14 and 15. So I can do equip slot 15. Or maybe I'm getting it wrong. If I scroll down here, I have a cheat sheet. So offhand is actually 17, so I messed up somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so offhand is 17. So we'll do equip slot 17. So if I hit this button, it'll equip it to my offhand. You can also use 17. Or if I wanted to use my medallion, trinket 2 would be 14, so I can do use 14. And we'll get rid of this. And get rid of the item type. There we go. So it's going to use whatever's in my 14th slot. And I can swap it out like this. Can't do that while in combat. Well, let's bring you back. And now maybe we'll swap them. So the button will switch to the macro I have in the 14th slot. Okay, let's go back to our intermediate area here. Looks like that's all we have here. If you like this video, please like it. And subscribe for more content. See you soon.